Ever experienced that familiar burning sensation in your stomach after a meal? Or that dull, nagging pain that turns your favorite dishes into dreaded enemies? If so, you're not alone. Gastritis and ulcers aren't just medical diagnoses. They're conditions that profoundly change our lives, especially our relationship with food. But what if I told you that you could eat delicious, satisfying meals while actually soothing your stomach, not irritating it? In this video, we're not going to talk about restrictive, boring diets. Instead, we'll craft a complete, appealing, one-week menu designed to help you feel light and comfortable. Stick around, and you'll be amazed at how varied and enjoyable healing nutrition can be. So, let's start with the basics. Gastritis is essentially an inflammation of your stomach lining. Imagine the inside wall of your stomach as delicate skin and spicy, fatty, or acidic foods as a harsh scrub brush. Over time, this skin becomes inflamed. An ulcer is the next, more serious stage, where an actual sore or wound develops on that inflamed lining. Our main goal is to remove the harsh brush and give your stomach a chance to heal. That's why our menu will be based on principles that protect your stomach, chemically, mechanically, and thermally. This might sound complex, but in reality, it's quite simple. We'll be choosing foods that don't force your stomach to work overtime. So what's the key to a truly happy stomach? What's the secret behind a menu that genuinely soothes it? It all boils down to one simple, yet incredibly important concept: the 3 Gs: gentle chemistry, gentle mechanics, and gentle temperature. While these terms might sound a bit scientific, putting them into practice is actually quite straightforward. First up, and arguably the most crucial, is gentle chemistry. We need to eliminate anything from your diet that forces your stomach to produce excess acid. Imagine your stomach is already dealing with a sensitive, inflamed area, like a small campfire. Now picture what happens if you add spicy, fried, fatty, smoked, or pickled foods. That's essentially pouring gasoline on the flames. The inflammation will only get worse. So, temporarily, we need to say goodbye to those crispy crusts, fiery hot sauces, and rich, heavy meat broths. Our absolute goal here is to give your stomach complete rest. Next, we focus on gentle mechanics. This means the food you eat should not scratch or irritate the delicate lining of your stomach. So, we steer clear of roughage, things like raw vegetables or whole grain breads. Instead, choose foods that are pured, mashed, or thoroughly cooked until very soft. The less your stomach has to labor to break down food, the quicker it can recover. This is precisely why creamy, pured soups and light, tender soufflés will become your new best friends. And finally, the third principle: gentle temperature. Food that's either too hot or too cold can also be a significant stressor for an inflamed digestive lining. Therefore, all your meals and drinks should be served at a comfortable, warm temperature. Not scalding hot, but pleasantly soothing. Following this simple rule will significantly accelerate the healing process. And that's the whole secret. Stick to steaming, boiling, stewing, or baking your meals, and always consume food that's warm and soft. You'll be amazed at how quickly your stomach will thank you. Now let's debunk one of the most persistent myths, a piece of advice passed down through generations. What's the first thing people often suggest when you have a stomachache? That's right. Drink a glass of warm milk. It seems like the perfect solution. Gentle, soothing, and for a short while, It genuinely brings relief. You feel the discomfort fade, and you might think you found your quick fix. But here's the crucial catch. That comforting effect is only temporary. And then things get interesting. Milk is rich in protein and calcium, both powerful stimulators of stomach acid production. To digest these nutrients, your stomach is forced to release a new, even larger dose of hydrochloric acid. Doctors call this phenomenon acid rebound. So, you get a brief moment of peace, only for the pain and heartburn to potentially return with double the intensity an hour or two later. Does this mean milk is completely off limits? Not necessarily. It just means you shouldn't drink it plain, especially on an empty stomach if you're experiencing stomach upset. However, adding a little low-fat milk to your oatmeal, using it to prepare a steamed omelette, or even a creamy milk-based dessert, is generally fine. The main thing is to use it in moderation and remember that as an instant remedy, milk can actually play a trick on you and worsen the problem. All right, let's kick off our delicious and healthy week. Mondays are when we give our stomachs a much-needed rest after a weekend of indulgence. Our goal is to kickstart the healing process, so our menu will be incredibly gentle. We'll start the morning right with the ideal breakfast for a sensitive stomach. We're talking about a very specific kind of oatmeal here, not just instant flakes poured over hot water, but a truly well-cooked, smooth, and soothing porridge. It's best prepared with water, or a mix of water and a small amount of milk. Absolutely no sugar, butter, or fresh berries. You can, however, add just a tiny pinch of salt. This kind of porridge gently coats the stomach lining, acting like a protective balm. It soothes irritation and provides a feeling of fullness without any heaviness. It's easily digested and requires absolutely no effort from your digestive system. This isn't just food. It's true medicine that will prepare your stomach for the day ahead. Remember, on Monday, we lay the foundation for our well-being for the entire week. So it's crucial to start as gently as possible. When lunchtime rolls around, we continue our commitment to maximum comfort. Our choice is a light, yet incredibly nourishing, vegetable puree soup. It's the perfect dish for a sensitive stomach, as it perfectly aligns with all our guidelines. For its preparation, we select the most neutral and gentle vegetables: potatoes, carrots, and zucchini. A little cauliflower can also be included. The key secret that transforms a simple soup into a truly healing one is the complete absence of any sautéed ingredients. Absolutely no pan-fried onions or carrots in oil. This is a strict rule. We simply chop the vegetables, cover them with water or a mild vegetable broth, and simmer until they're completely, absolutely tender. Then, using a blender, we transform everything into a smooth, creamy puree. We add just a pinch of salt, no pepper or any other strong spices. The result is a velvety, warming soup that's incredibly easy to digest and doesn't burden your digestive system. It delivers essential vitamins and fiber in the gentlest possible form. Think of it as a warm embrace for your stomach from the inside, helping to soothe any tension and support the recovery process. To conclude our first day of healing, we're having a specially prepared dinner. While many believe it's best to eat lightly in the evening, our bodies actually need essential building blocks for overnight recovery and regeneration. The most crucial of these is easily digestible protein. That's why we've chosen steamed chicken patties served with delicate mashed potatoes. Why steamed, you ask? Forget the frying pan and excess oil. Steaming is the gentlest cooking method. It perfectly cooks the meat, locking in all its natural juiciness and tenderness. Crucially, it avoids forming that aggressive, crispy crust, which can be a real irritant for your stomach. For our patties, we use the leanest cut, chicken breast. For an even more delicate texture, we mince the meat twice. And remember, no onions, garlic, or strong spices, just a touch of salt. The ideal side dish for these patties is a light and fluffy mashed potato. We prepare it using water or the potato cooking liquid, completely without butter. Mash it thoroughly until you achieve a smooth, consistent texture. This dinner is truly satisfying, perfectly balanced, and incredibly gentle on your system. It fills you up without any heaviness, providing your body with all the essential nutrients for regeneration while you sleep. As Tuesday arrives, it's a great opportunity to introduce some variety into our diet by incorporating a new, incredibly beneficial food. We're talking about fish, but of course, not just any kind. Fatty, salted, or smoked fish, like mackerel or herring, must still be strictly avoided. Instead, we should opt for lean white fish varieties such as hake, pollock, cod, or pike perch. Fish is an excellent source of easily digestible protein, which is absorbed much more readily than red meat. It also provides beneficial omega-3 fatty acids, known for their anti-inflammatory effects. The cooking methods remain the same, gentle and easy on the stomach. An ideal option is to prepare a delicate steamed fish soufflé. To make this, simply puree boiled fish fillet in a blender, mix it with egg white, and then steam it. The result is a light, airy, almost melt-in-your-mouth dish. Alternatively, you can simply boil a piece of fillet or prepare it by steaming. Boiled rice or mashed potatoes make excellent accompaniments to the fish. Such a lunch or dinner will not only add variety to your menu, but also enrich your body with valuable nutrients essential for restoring the stomach lining, all without placing any unnecessary burden on your digestive system. But what about satisfying your sweet tooth? When your stomach is upset, it often feels like all desserts and fruits are completely off limits. But that's another myth we're about to debunk. Completely cutting out fruit isn't just unnecessary. It can actually be harmful. After all, fruits are a vital source of vitamins and pectin, both of which are crucial for healthy digestion. The key is choosing the right fruits and preparing them correctly. First, let's forget about acidic varieties. That means no oranges, grapefruits, kiwis, or tart apples. Instead, opt for sweet ripe fruits, bananas, pears, and sweet varieties of apples. Secondly, and this is crucial, absolutely no raw fruit. The raw fiber can be too rough for an inflamed stomach lining. Our secret weapon, therefore, is baking, the ideal and perfectly safe dessert. A baked apple. Simply core it, add about half a teaspoon of honey inside, if you're not allergic, of course, and bake it in the oven until it's completely soft. As it bakes, the rough fiber softens, and the pectin, conversely, becomes more active. The apple transforms into a delicate, aromatic puree that gently coats the stomach lining, improves digestive motility, and offers a pleasant sweetness without any irritation. This just goes to show that healthy eating can and should be delicious. It's Wednesday, the middle of the week, and today we're shining a spotlight on grains. Porridges are a cornerstone of a GI-friendly diet, but there are some important nuances to consider. We're not talking about just any porridge. For optimal benefits, we need what are often called mucilaginous or very thoroughly cooked varieties. These offer sustained fullness and energy without demanding significant effort from your digestive system. An ideal choice for breakfast or lunch is pureed buckwheat porridge. To make it, simply cook regular buckwheat thoroughly in water until it's extremely soft. Then, for maximum smoothness, either pass it through a sieve or blend it until it reaches a creamy consistency. This transforms the porridge into a light, delicate cream, free of any coarse particles. Another excellent option, which can even double as a dessert, is rice pudding. For this we use short-grain rice, which cooks down beautifully. Prepare it with diluted milk until it reaches an almost creamy consistency. You can add a touch of vanilla for aroma, but be sure to avoid sugar. Rice boasts excellent absorbent properties, effectively soaking up excess acid and toxins. These dishes are truly a balm for the stomach, nourishing, warming, and soothing. They aid the body in its recovery. A key principle of many therapeutic diets is eating small, frequent meals. This approach helps us avoid overloading the stomach with large portions and prevents long periods of hunger, during which stomach acid can irritate an empty stomach lining. So, the question arises, what can you safely and beneficially snack on between your main meals? Forget about chips, crackers, or cookies. Our snacks need to be just as gentle on the digestive system as our main meals. Our first ideal option is a ripe banana. It boasts a soft, delicate texture, contains no harsh fiber, and has soothing, coating properties. Plus, it's sweet and nutritious, helping to quickly satisfy hunger. Our second option is fermented dairy products. However, choose wisely. Opt for plain, natural, low-fat yogurt with no added sugars, artificial flavors, or fruit pieces. Unsweetened kefir or ryazhenka, fermented baked milk, are also excellent choices. They help normalize gut flora and are easily digestible. Such a snack will not only curb hunger, but also significantly benefit your digestion. The golden rule: keep the portion small, around 150-200 milliliters, to avoid stretching the stomach. Now let's talk about what we drink. For those with gastritis or ulcers, your choice of beverages is just as crucial as your food. The wrong drink can easily undermine all your efforts to stick to a strict diet. Here's a clear list of what's absolutely off-limits. Your first and main enemy is coffee. It doesn't matter if it's with milk or black, strong or weak. The caffeine and acids in it aggressively stimulate stomach acid production. The same goes for strong black tea. Your second enemy: any carbonated drinks. Carbon dioxide stretches the stomach walls and irritates the lining. And of course, acidic juices are out, especially citrus and tomato, as are all alcoholic beverages. So, what can you drink? Our focus should be on beverages that soothe and aid healing. An ideal choice is a rosehip infusion. It's rich in vitamin C, which helps with healing, but it's not acidic. Dried fruit compotes are also excellent, provided they're not too concentrated and have no added sugar. And, naturally, mild green tea or chamomile tea. All beverages, just like your food, should be warm. A proper hydration regimen helps maintain fluid balance and speeds up recovery. As Thursday arrives, we're adding another incredibly valuable protein source to our diet: eggs. Many people with sensitive stomachs or digestive issues are wary of them, often due to concerns about cholesterol or simply seeing them as a heavy food. But, as always, it all comes down to how they're prepared. A greasy fried egg with crispy bacon, for instance, would certainly be a disaster for a sensitive stomach. However, when prepared correctly, eggs can actually be incredibly beneficial, almost like medicine. Egg white is considered the gold standard for protein. It's almost 100% absorbed by the body and contains all the essential amino acids crucial for tissue regeneration, even for the delicate lining of your stomach. The best and safest option is a delicate steamed omelette. Prepare it with 1 or 2 eggs, using either water or diluted milk. No added oil, cheese, or vegetables. Simply whisk the eggs with a pinch of salt and cook them in a steamer or over a water bath. The result is an incredibly tender, fluffy, and light dish. A second acceptable option is a soft-boiled egg. And by soft-boiled, we mean one where the yolk remains deliciously runny, while the white is perfectly set. This preparation makes it the most easily digestible. Hard-boiled or fried eggs, however, should be avoided. They take significantly longer to digest and put an unnecessary strain on your digestive system. We've already talked about chemical and mechanical gentleness, but there's another factor that's often overlooked: food temperature. You might think, what difference does the temperature of your soup or tea make? But for an inflamed, sensitive stomach, that difference is huge. Imagine you've burned your hand. You wouldn't apply ice to it or pour boiling water on it, would you? It's the same principle with our stomach. Food or drinks that are too hot act as an additional irritant. They literally scald an already compromised lining, intensifying inflammation and slowing down the healing process. This can lead to spasms and pain. On the other hand, ice-cold food and drinks, like ice cream or chilled water, are also detrimental. They cause blood vessels in the stomach wall to constrict, which impairs circulation and, consequently, the regeneration process. Plus, your body has to expend extra energy to warm this food to body temperature. Therefore, the golden rule is that all food and drinks should be at a comfortable, lukewarm temperature, roughly between 37 and 40 degrees Celsius, 98.6 to 104 degrees Fahrenheit. This is a temperature that feels neither hot nor cold. It's perceived by your body as most natural, requires no unnecessary energy expenditure, and helps food digest easily and without stress on your digestive system. It's Friday, and the weekend is almost here. On days like these, we crave something special, but also something that's gentle on our stomachs. It often feels like healthy eating and delicious food are mutually exclusive, but that's simply not true. Today, we're going to make a dish that's a favorite with both adults and kids, but with a healthy twist. These are lazy vareniki, easy, delicious dumplings. The classic recipe typically calls for full-fat cottage cheese, served with sour cream and sugar, and that's not what we're aiming for today. Instead, we're making a healthier, lighter version. The key ingredient is low-fat, or even better, fat-free cottage cheese. It's important that it's not overly sour. For maximum tenderness, you'll want to press it through a fine mesh sieve to eliminate any lumps. To the sieved cottage cheese, we'll add just a spoonful of semolina or flour, enough to help the dough hold its shape, and 1 egg white to bind everything together, and absolutely no sugar. Form the mixture into small ropes, cut them into bite-sized pieces, and boil them in lightly salted water for just a few minutes after they float to the surface. Serve these delicious dumplings with a dollop of approved fruit puree, or simply enjoy them as they are. They're a fantastic source of calcium and easily digestible protein, feeling like a delightful dessert or a satisfying meal, without any of the guilt or discomfort. If you're dealing with gastritis, one of the first things that comes to mind regarding your diet is bread. Can you eat it? And if so, what kind? Because let's be honest, cutting out bread entirely can be tough. The good news is, you can, but with some crucial caveats. Unfortunately, that warm, fragrant, freshly baked bread, especially rye or whole grain, is definitely off the menu. Freshly baked goods, particularly those made with yeast, can trigger fermentation in your stomach. This leads to excess gas, bloating, and general discomfort, precisely what you want to avoid. Moreover, breads containing bran or made from coarse flour are packed with roughage that can physically irritate an already inflamed stomach lining. So, what's left? Your best bet is plain white bread made from refined flour. And here's the crucial part. It needs to be stale, or specifically dried. Yesterday's bread is ideal. You can also take a fresh loaf, slice it, and let it sit out for several hours, or lightly toast it in the oven. But don't aim for a golden brown crisp. You just want it to be dried out and a bit firm. This dried, slightly stale bread is much easier on your digestive system. It won't cause fermentation and can be a great accompaniment, perhaps with a creamy soup. But always remember to eat in moderation. Stick to just 1 or 2 slices per meal. It's Saturday, a perfect day to indulge in something a little more elaborate and satisfying, a dish that truly evokes the comfort of home cooking. Today, we're making a vegetable stew. But this isn't the vibrant, spicy stew many are accustomed to. Instead, we're preparing a gentler, more dietary-friendly version. Our stew's foundation consists of approved vegetables, zucchini, carrots, potatoes, pumpkin, and cauliflower. We exclude any vegetables high in coarse fiber, such as white cabbage, or those that might cause irritation, like eggplant or bell peppers. And here's the most important secret. We completely avoid tomatoes and tomato paste. Tomatoes are highly acidic, making them a primary trigger for those with gastritis. So, how do we prepare it? We chop all the vegetables into small cubes, place them in a heavy-bottomed pot, add a little water or mild vegetable broth, and simmer them gently, covered, until completely tender. No frying involved. Towards the end, you can add a pinch of salt and some finely chopped fresh dill. The result is a wonderfully delicate, aromatic, and juicy dish. It's satisfying, rich in vitamins, and entirely safe. This stew can be enjoyed as a standalone meal or as a side dish to a steamed cutlet. There's an almost magical dish, often overlooked, that becomes a true lifesaver when you're dealing with digestive issues. It's called kissel, but not the brightly colored instant packet mixes you find in stores, full of starch and artificial dyes. We're talking about the homemade kind, natural, wholesome, and genuinely beneficial. Kissel's thick, viscous, and comforting texture makes it an ideal shield for your stomach lining. It gently coats the stomach walls, forming a delicate protective film that soothes irritation and protects against the harsh effects of stomach acid. For maximum benefit, it's particularly effective if consumed about 30 minutes before your main meal. Making it is incredibly simple. You can use a base of unsweetened dried fruit compote, diluted sweet berry juice, or even milk. Bring your chosen liquid to a boil and then, while constantly stirring, slowly pour in potato starch that has been dissolved in cold water. Simmer for just a minute or 2 until it reaches your desired consistency. It's best to avoid adding any extra sugar. This warm, gentle kissel is perfect as a soothing afternoon snack or a light, comforting evening meal. It provides a satisfying feeling of fullness, calms the stomach, and helps your digestive system function smoothly and without disruption. Sunday is a special day, often synonymous with cherished family meals. And being on a diet doesn't mean you have to skip this tradition. The secret is to prepare a dish that looks celebratory, yet is perfectly healthy. And the perfect solution? Foil-baked turkey with vegetables. Why turkey? Its meat is considered one of the leanest and healthiest options available. It's very low in fat, yet rich in protein and tryptophan, an amino acid known to boost your mood. Cooking it in foil keeps the meat incredibly juicy without needing any added oil and prevents the formation of an unhealthy charred crust. Simply take your turkey fillet, season it lightly with salt, and perhaps a sprinkle of dried dill. Alongside, arrange your favorite coarsely chopped, diet-friendly vegetables. Think carrots, zucchini, and pumpkin. Wrap everything tightly in foil to create a sealed pouch, then pop it into the oven. The meat and vegetables will steam gently in their own juices, infusing each other with delicious aromas. The result is an incredibly tender, juicy, and flavorful dish that looks absolutely delicious. It's a perfect example of how healthy eating can be not only beneficial but also genuinely festive. Throughout the week, we've been discussing specific dishes, but there's one universal principle that forms the very foundation of our entire menu. Without it, even the healthiest food can cause discomfort. That principle is fractional eating. What does that mean in practice? Simply put, it means we completely move away from the traditional three-meal system of breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Instead, we divide our daily food intake into 5 to 6 smaller meals, with intervals of no more than 3 to 4 hours between each. Why is this so crucial? Firstly, small portions don't overstretch the stomach walls or force it to produce excessive amounts of acid all at once. This significantly reduces the strain on the organ. Secondly, regular food intake ensures the stomach is never left empty for too long. When the stomach is empty, the hydrochloric acid it produces can directly contact inflamed or sensitive stomach lining, leading to pain and heartburn. Essentially, we keep the stomach in a state of constant, yet very low-level activity. It's never overwhelmed, but it's also never completely idle. This allows it to operate in its calmest and most efficient mode, which is a crucial condition for healing and recovery. There's another incredibly important, yet often overlooked, aspect of healthy digestion. We focus so much on what we put on our plate, but completely forget about how we actually eat it. I'm talking about the simple act of thoroughly chewing your food. Our grandmothers knew it best when they said, "Well chewed is half digested." And that's absolutely true. The process of digestion doesn't start in your stomach. It begins right there, in your mouth. As you chew, food isn't just mechanically broken down, it's also generously mixed with saliva. And saliva isn't merely water. It contains enzymes, specifically amylase, which begins to break down carbohydrates right there in your mouth. The better you chew each bite, turning it into a smooth, consistent pulp, the less work your stomach will have to do. Imagine sending into your stomach not large, poorly chewed chunks, but a pre-prepared, partially processed mass. Your stomach won't have to expend extra energy or produce additional acid to handle the task. This significantly reduces the burden on your entire digestive system. So, make it a rule. Slow down, put away your phone, turn off the TV, and truly focus on your meal. Chew slowly, mindfully, and you'll be amazed at how much better you'll feel. And finally, the most important rule, which trumps all diets and recommendations: listen to your body. All the meal plans we've created are based on general principles and are suitable for most people with gastritis and ulcers. However, every body is unique. What works perfectly for one person might cause discomfort for another. For instance, some people tolerate low-fat cottage cheese perfectly, while for others, it might cause a feeling of heaviness. Some can eat bananas without an issue, but for others they might trigger bloating. This is completely normal. Therefore, keep a food diary of sorts, even if it's just in your head. Pay attention to how you feel after eating certain foods. If you notice that even a permitted food regularly causes you discomfort, pain, heartburn, a feeling of heaviness, simply remove it from your diet temporarily. There's no need to follow instructions blindly. Think of your diet not as a strict prison, but as a flexible tool that you customize for yourself. Your body is your best advisor. It will always signal you if something isn't right. Learn to listen to these signals and trust them. This kind of personalized approach is what will truly make your diet therapeutic and effective. But here's the most surprising twist in all of this. The biggest enemy of your stomach isn't always the food you eat. Often the main culprit behind flare-ups of gastritis and ulcers is actually stress. That's right. When you're stressed, your body releases hormones that boost the production of stomach acid. It creates a vicious cycle. Stress causes stomach pain, and that pain, in turn, causes even more stress. That's why diet is only 50% of the solution. The other 50%? Your peace of mind. It turns out that sometimes it's not what you eat that matters most, but how you eat it. In a calm environment, taking your time, without distractions like your phone. This isn't just a diet, it's a lifestyle change. So, let's recap. Calming your stomach doesn't mean restricting yourself to water and oatmeal. It means choosing the right foods, using gentle cooking methods, and eating mindfully. Your menu can and should be diverse and delicious. We've shown that in just a week, you can enjoy a variety of delicious meals, from steamed cutlets and fish soufflé to baked fruits, and even lazy vareniki. The main thing is to do it all with self-care in mind. Thank you for watching this video all the way to the end. If you found it helpful, please give it a like and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss out on more useful tips. Now a question for you. What foods specifically help your stomach during flare-ups? And which ones cause you the most discomfort? Share your experiences in the comments below. Let's help each other out.